honestly, the 10 points is just highlights. Like everything we thought when going into this war, when we all woke up and said, why are we doing this?
Right.
I think this is just highlights. They're really painting ourselves into a shitty corner here. Like it's a Vietnam all over again. Like there's not going to be a nice way to get out of this looking nice.
Sipping on. Just start.
I'm still trying to kill this 12-pack of Hopsecution Merriment. You can't have but like 2 at a time.
I disagree.
Well,
but
I heard it gives you man boobs, so I don't want man boobs.
Well, okay. So yes, you can drink more than 2, and it's just you're gonna have physical consequences.
I want a little more flavor in my beer too these days. I'm sophisticated.
And mine has definitely changed a lot.
We're elderly statesmen in the beer drinking game.
I say as I'm over here pouring my Guinness.
When we were kids, it was like Rolling Rock, and those. I've gone back and I was like, why?
I used to think Bud Light Platinums were like the hottest, the greatest thing ever when those first came out. And I went crazy on them one night and just all over the place.
Welcome to the feed, guys.
That's right. Well, welcome back, Nick.
Thank you.
We should start off the show with a congratulations to Michigan.
Yeah.
Not football, basketball.
Basketball. Cheers to them.
That's what I was going to do. I'll let you keep talking. You keep talking while
I'll talk. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but
about Michigan. You watched the game, I assume. You thought
I watched most of the game. Watched most of the game until it wasn't really in doubt, and then the end of the night was Timmy's like, "I'm done." I'm like, "Oh, okay, we're done. We're done." So I was like, "Oh, I think I know how this ends," and then all my friends bombarded me. So they were happy, and I was happy for them. I mean, I was around when, the Fab Five did it back in the late 80s. I was like 4, so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's cool. I'd like to see my dogs do something like that.
Well, not in basketball.
Alabama, Auburn, these teams are relevant. Yeah.
They do put up some good teams. So, I will do a share screen here in a second, and let me make sure I don't do this without exiting out of the program again.
Let's do it. Way. And we got the transfer portal now. I mean, anything can happen. Look at Indiana. Indiana fucking won a natty.
Let's come
in football. So
yeah, let's come back to the transfer portal. Put a note on that. We're going to come back to that after.
Oh, are we going to talk about executive order?
Put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. But yes. All right. So I just want to brag about my bracket. Again, winning the whole thing.
I see that.
I had UConn in the Final Four.
That was.
So I had that pick. Michigan, obviously, in the Final Four.
I feel like we mentioned UConn, Michigan. We brought up Arizona and Florida. We were slightly wrong about those things, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be wrong about Florida being successful.
Right. Exactly. I think, let's see, there's a spot where, oh yeah, here it is. So out of like how many, 190 million people that did brackets, I was 727,000. That's still a pretty high number, but I still think that's pretty. My percentage was 97.4%.
I'll pat you on the back.
Yeah, I should run for president with numbers like that.
Can't fail.
Nope. So
look at my bracketing.
Look at my bracketing. There we go.
So, I mean, this is a political show for the most part.
Because it's popular now.
Yeah. I remember Obama having his bracket, and
He did.
even back, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. You're the president. I don't care what your bracket looks like. I need you to.
Uh,
So I mean, I get it's
I I
cutesy, but
I I liked it. But that was because the Obama presidency was kind of like the first presidency I really was old enough to kind of like vote and real
mhm.
and at least make it a. I, I think he probably was the first one I ever voted for. That was probably around the time because yeah, and so I think growing up and was shaped by the Bush years and everything like that, and seeing what a president acts like or thinking what a president's supposed to be like all the time, and then all of a sudden Obama coming in and in a sense kind of being a little bit more hip,
He
you
was a
know.
little more hip, but
He
I
can
mean,
actually shoot the basketball, you know.
the hip factor was
I remember him playing
all
around
right
at
and
UNC
cool.
a little bit.
The fact that he just was articulate
Correct.
was very interesting. And I mean, Bush was not,
Hmm.
and this guy is even worse. I
Yeah.
don't think Bill Clinton was the greatest. I mean, what is
No.
uh,
Um someone posted in my guys group chat a meme picture, and it was like imagine an alternate universe, and it was the famous George Bush, and then his aide leaning into his ear telling him about the Twin Towers. But instead of sitting there, that kind of AI fixed the photo. So instead of sitting there in a schoolroom reading, to kids, he's doing the whole hot ones challenge. So he's got like hot sauce in the pot. They're like, imagine if he was doing hot ones when all of a sudden the aide Lena said, "Mr. President, they hit the towers."
oh my god,
Live on the mic. So I mean,
heard it here first.
honestly, with the way things, technology has changed, that could have been something that, you know, current presidents, go on podcasts and they
Oh,
do stuff, things could all of a sudden be like, hey,
well, I thought
breaking
that
news.
was Kamala's biggest drop is
Not doing
the,
the
the
circuit.
not doing, especially Joe Rogan.
Mm.
I was like, that is a demographic you kind of want to
Did you come
tap into.
away from that when that little debacle was happening? Did you come away from it being like, all right, it's her camp's fault or Joe Rogan's camp's fault or a mix of both? Like neither side really wanted the other, but they both pretended like, or did you think? I mean, I kind of think Joe Rogan's team honestly did want her there, and
Yeah,
he didn't really care. At the end of the day, he's like, "I'm going to get views," and she
yeah.
was like,
It, I,
"Man, let's throw any
I'm
excuse out there to pretend like I want to, but I can't do it."
I,
I don't
I'm
want
not a Joe Rogan champion by any
to. No,
means.
I used to love, and I still occasionally certain guests. Like depends on who the guest is now. I'm like, there are some guests that I find interesting, archaeologists, different things like
Sure,
that. But
um, but it wasn't incumbent upon him to change his schedule. Like
correct, it's his show.
she, she's the one selling something, not
Correct.
like I don't mean to be a dick about it, but I mean it's a fucking podcast. Just
Yeah.
we're doing this right now.
Shoot, even if, and honestly, I think it would have been even better. It would have been a better choice, even if she declined and couldn't do it, to at least put Tim Waltz on there. Like he
Oh,
was
for sure.
so much better personality, articulate. And in the moment he went in as vice president running mate, it was like, all right, don't say anything.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
I was like, wait a minute, why'd you even bring him on? So
I
we
mean
could play
that's
clips of him talking a year ago? Like he did nothing.
so yeah, I put it squarely in her camp's fault. Like
Yeah.
you should have done the math and understood
Yeah.
that you need to make this move. I'm sorry, that's what you get paid to do.
Correct. And now all these people in Iran have died. 13, as far as we know, 13 U.S. soldiers have passed away. So it's all her fault, really. If she would have just,
I didn't say that.
it's a dark turn all of a sudden.
I mean, somebody could have just said, "No, I'm not going to attack them."
That's true.
I don't care what you say,
That's true.
Netanyahu.
Oh yeah, that's
Uh,
interesting how that revelation is now coming out. That kind of what we already knew, but
yeah,
um,
I mean,
a little
how
bit more
hard is it
confirmation.
for us to be like, no,
Yeah.
that's not right? Like it the easiest thing in the world.
But if you got the files,
No,
maybe. Anyway, back to Michigan, back to basketball.
back to
Bro, boy show. Talk about sports. Um, I stayed up for the whole game. I thought it was it ended up being closer than I thought it was going to be because Michigan had pretty much blown out everybody up to that point.
yeah,
And
that is true.
they uh they kept it at least like a 10, 12 point spread pretty much the whole game until the final like 5 minutes, and all of a sudden UConn started getting some lucky shots. Michigan started missing some
I mean,
no
it was a
brainers, bad decisions, and then both in the final minute, both teams, UConn and Michigan, made bad decisions with the ball, but Michigan at least had the advantage of already being up so many points that it was like, all right.
yeah,
But it's a good game, I thought.
yeah. It was the oddest Michigan game I'd watched
Mm-hmm.
all tournament. I was like, and it's a. I'm not to say that they couldn't play ball with anybody, any style if they really wanted to. I mean,
Right.
that's basically what they championed the whole year. So,
Mm-hmm.
but blowing people out 90, get 90 the whole tournament.
Yeah.
And if you saw the game before, I mean, it was raining threes.
Right.
You guys can't buy a three. Like, what? And
UConn.
UConn couldn't do anything with
Yeah.
that failure. Like, I'm like, that,
It
anything
was
that you
it was
wanted.
almost a karma. Although I was glad for the karma, it was almost a karma for UConn because UConn had been good at the threes all tournament except for when they played Duke. And when they
Yeah.
played Duke, they were like 2 for 23 going into the final minute. And Duke still ended up blowing it. And
Yeah.
UConn made their final last four threes.
Yeah.
And of course, the last one was a half court
Yeah.
Hail
Mullen.
Mary. And, but yeah, and then the turnaround around the week later, and Michigan does the same thing, but manages to hold on to the win. So anyway,
Uh,
but yeah,
Kudos.
basketball is going to change forever now, thanks to our president.
Sure. Michigan was built on all transfers, the whole
Correct.
starting.
That was a mercenary squad, is how they called it.
Mhm. Yeah. So I don't love the mercenary squad. And do I believe there should be changes to uh, collegiate athletics? I
Yeah.
don't think an executive order is the right move.
No, and it almost feels like part of me is like, all right, is it just going to be that everything that this president does I'm just going to hate or bash on? is is it inevitably that, even if it's a good thing? And I don't want it to be that way,
Well,
but
I mean,
I do like the idea
I,
of
I was about
them
to say,
cutting it back in the years. I do
I,
agree with that
I
to an
admit
extent.
I
I just
like
don't like the way it's
this.
done.
I like the spirit
Yeah.
of the idea.
Hmm.
The biggest problem is he can't, and this is not even him, but
I don't want
this
any
this this isn't the
politicians stepping
realm.
in.
This isn't
Yeah.
the realm of a president. The president's an executive.
Correct.
Congress makes the laws, and then you just make sure they're executed properly.
Correct.
That's executive orders aren't the way that laws get done, and this is why you keep getting all these injunctions and blah blah blah. Stop breaking the law, motherfucker. This had everything to. It was just a flag wave. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not a legal leg to stand on. It's just
Which
it,
most of his
yeah, and
orders are, they
I,
have
I
no legal binding, and they
which
will eventually get turned over. I mean, he brags all the time he signs the most,
yeah, bullshit. He signs the most bullshit.
yeah, and then it's like, yeah, okay, well, how many of that stuff really stands? Because it all gets knocked down.
Yeah, the only clear way to change the collegiate athletics, at least where it's heading to, and I don't think it's a place that any of us as viewers, for the most part, want to see is I'm dare to say collegiate union. Like the players should have a union, like in the professional.
Socialism.
Yeah, exactly. But in which you have as a a governing body, as a employer, you have a way to negotiate these terms.
Right.
But until you have a collective in which to bargain with, you can't just willy nilly make rules up.
Right.
Like it,
Yeah.
like that. Cool. I just, but I'm pro union. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Can they go too far? Sure.
It's a
We
it's it's a tough balance, and I'm pro paying players,
Oh yeah, for
but I'm
sure.
also not pro paying players in college $4 million to be able to jump schools every other year, and stuff.
Um, my honestly, I took my ego out of it. I mean, I don't give a fuck. It's not my money. It's a TV's money. It's
Yeah, I mean,
I get
for some schools, I
it's
mean,
weird for me to have to uh keep track of players. And I
yeah,
guess that's annoying. But my view is, if this money wasn't going to these kids that never had money, would never get a chance to make money like this without this. Um, if they want to pay these kids that money, and then a lot of these guys do turn around and bring it back to their community and help
sure,
their community that's been, shit on or
yeah,
left to fall apart. Good on them,
yeah. Well, I'll rephrase that in a sense of like, all right, so let's just say it is that 4 million. That I said I don't like them being paid. I don't like hearing that there's this one player on this one team making 4 million, where that there's other guys on that same team, linemen or somebody else, who are barely getting across because they're not the quarterback.
Sure.
Or that you're the quarterback of, say, Alabama or Miami, and therefore you're getting 4 million, yet where you're the quarterback of, you know, another school. I mean, I'm not saying that it has to be,
Yeah.
but a little bit more standardized. Like, hey, if you
Uh,
are a
uh,
player who plays in this sport, these positions have to get a baseline of this. This position, it's kind of a more standardized, spread out
sure.
union.
Yeah.
I guess how we came back around to that.
So this is sports is fun for me because it's like where my capitalism and my socialism
They
kind
kind
of
of
like come. No, well, they don't. No, they don't really. They
oh,
kind of like when you're talking about the lineman not getting paid as much as the quarterback, or the quarterback from another team not get.
yeah, when
I'm
they're
like, well,
just important.
that that's just your roster management. That I'm gonna go full capitalism on that. You guys figure that out. But I do want to kind of a level playing ground when it comes to the programs.
Sure.
Like, I don't need Texas spending $20 billion and then, you know, North Carolina only spending $2 million. Like, it's just, well, obviously that's not going to work for anybody. We'll just get the rings over to Texas right now. um,
Um,
but so it's a little balancing act.
I think I saw. Um, I was looking up, and it was like a list of like who's like the richest millionaire in like every state, and Georgia was Kirby Smart,
Kirby Smart, he
college
is.
college coach,
Sorry,
highest paid
can't.
person in our state.
Yeah, that's that is sad.
I mean, if you're a Georgia fan, I guess you're at least like, well, at least I hope it's worth it.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, we got two natties out of it, so I can't complain
Yeah.
too hard. And
One day I hope to even win 4 games. Back the good old days. reigning BCS championships.
It's
Let's say
there you
before
go.
before it went woke.
Yeah, sure. uh, I've been complaining ever since they went to a 12 team. Like, fuck, this 12 team's not working for me.
Uh, nah, I want them to expand the playoff just because I just like the playoff styles of stuff. And I've been watching NFL for so long. I'm like, yeah, there should be a lot more teams in it, but
Um,
there's a lot more
I
diversity in college than it is the NFL.
I would have been cool with just an 8 team if they just started off at 8 teams.
Mhm.
I feel like that would have been perfect. But they did the 4. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
sure.
weird.
And then they did uh this 12, and now they're talking about expanding it. I'm like, okay,
16, I think, or maybe even 24.
16 sounds okay to me. The 24 seems like okay. Now we're just getting. But I mean, if they want to expand the playoffs, let's just get rid of this whole hiatus when it comes to the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay, we don't need to wait a whole month for playoffs to begin for the most part.
Hmm.
I want the end of the season to be New Year's. Just you crown your championship, in Pasadena every year. We'll be okay with
And
that.
the ball drops. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be New Year's Day. I love New Year's Day football.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Yes. No, it gives us something to do for those that don't have to work, thankfully during those holidays. Um, yeah, I mean, the NFL, you're waiting until February before the Super Bowl comes around. So,
Yeah. But I like their playoffs. So for the most part,
no, their playoffs are always good. And yeah, I don't know. We can't solve all the world's problems,
not today.
but we can try. Um, yeah. Trying to think of what else big happened maybe in the sports world since oh, Tiger Woods did it again.
Oh yes, he did. With
Except
like
he got lucky this time because he's currently dating a Trump,
yeah, an ex-Trump,
ex-Trump, but still
ex-Trump.
has the phone number to Trump, so he can be like, "Hey,
Yeah, I was interested to know how that was like. I guess he still found her
golf."
useful.
And if I'm someone who owns a bunch of golf courses and I want to constantly surround myself in the image like Trump fights for, then he wants to have the previous number one golfer, arguably one of the best golfers in the world, you know,
At least
coming to
revolutionary.
his, yeah, oh, absolutely. Um, you know, coming to his golf courses and being around, for social and all that type of stuff. So, no, I imagine they're buddy buddy for mutual, you know, reasons. Your camera went slow. Are you there? Did I lose you, Nick? Boom, 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 boom.
What happened?
Oh, I don't know.
You,
Um,
you were you were chatting it up, and I was sitting back. It just went.
for some reason, actually on my side, oh, there we go. Now you're down to one screen. You had two cameras, like, but one of them was completely still, like you're just frozen.
I was
We'll
like,
we'll see how this looks in post.
it's gonna be awesome.
Yep. Start doing the Jeopardy theme. Um, but yeah, no, I imagine it's mutually beneficial for both parties to be
Oh, for sure now. Yeah.
aligned and definitely now.
uh,
So
I
yeah.
was. And golf's always been a very popular sport. Hold on. You need to get to bed, kiddo. You want to hold, Hold on one moment.
Remember, folks, if you like to see this heartwarming conversation and professionalism, hit the subscribe button, share it with a friend, and just throwing it out there. I am always looking for people to come on, talk about whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be something I agree with.
You do this again. You don't
Very friendly. I will understand, be open to whatever it is you want to talk about, debate kindly. So let me know. All right. You back?
Ah, you do this. Promise.
One of them will have an L on it, the other one will have an R.
What's that? These could be wrong. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, that's I can't sleep. Wasn't sleep.
You're
You
talking
came
too loud, Dad.
you came to the right parent because your mom's gonna kill you.
Oh, is she on spring break this week though?
No, not at all. That was
Okay.
last week.
Gotcha. No, Landon's on spring break this week, and then all of our schools up here are pretty much on spring break. So
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, you're saying golf's pretty popular.
Yeah, it's always been popular, but I feel like there's been a surge. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's been our age group getting to be 35 to 40,
100%.
but with the added bonus of growing up in a time and place with Tiger Woods and Happy Gilmore. Like that was like the 90s. It was a time for kids to think golf was cool. But I'm not going to do it. I don't have.
I watched Happy Gilmore for the first time last year.
Like the original?
I watched it before watching Happy Gilmore 2 because Devin wanted to watch Happy Gilmore 2, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, we can watch it tonight. Um, Also, by the way, I've never actually watched Happy Gilmore, the original. She was like, oh, well, we're watching that now, and then we'll watch Happy Gilmore 2. So, I'll say that, like, I caught a little bit on TV occasionally, but again,
Sure.
not growing up watching a lot of stuff. When I was able to finally start watching anything I wanted to on TV, I obviously became very selective of like, all right, I want to watch this because, whatever reason. So watching a lot of comedy or sorry, stupid comedy, dumb
Yes.
comedy. I wasn't really drawn to it because I was more going towards, other stuff.
Totally get it.
But I understand it because, I was able to watch like Monty Python, so I did understand stupid comedy. It's just, that was definitely that's definitely one of those movies that I'm sorry.
You're
Uh,
okay. You're in a safe space.
I'm sorry, but I finished both Happy Gilmore 1 and 2, and I just looked at Devin. I'm like, all right, well, I'm good with never watching these movies again. And she was like, I hate you. Why can't you ever love things that I like? And I'm like, no, I get it. Like,
No,
I get the humor and I get all that, but because I didn't have it as a kid and it wasn't there, it just didn't hit me the same way. And
sure.
especially watching the second one, so much of the second one is just simple callbacks to the first one that I already didn't laugh as hard at. So now it's like another callback. I'm just like, okay. I was over like,
I haven't seen the second one. It's
okay.
it's just been sitting there going, yeah, I'll get to it.
Devin liked it, so you might enjoy it.
Um,
You will at least appreciate all the
I,
references because you'll be
I
like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know that. I know what that's supposed to be. Whereas I'm sitting
well,
there like,
I
oh,
haven't watched the first one since I was like 15.
okay. Well, that's just as bad as me just never watching it, really.
Uh, so it was a fun movie when you're like 13.
Sure.
We watched it like daily because it was you're 13-year-old.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, um, and it's one of the only ones that I have like fondish memories of when it comes to an
Mhm.
Adam Sandler movie. I gonna be that guy. I don't understand the Adam Sandler love.
No, no, I'm right there with you. Devin will defend him all the time, and I'm just like, I can't stand his voice when he does his. I can't. It
Yeah, just
irritates
get.
me. I want to see his the actual serious movie he did about the diamond, um,
Yeah, me too. That looked good. I
whatever
just
that movie is. Um,
raw cut or something like that.
no, it'll come to me, but I don't think it was that.
It's something raw.
Oh, yeah,
Raw.
it is.
That's an Adam Sandler joke right there.
Oh, damn it. Um, yes, I think you are correct. It is something raw or raw something. But anyway, well, well, somebody tell us something.
Uncut. Somebody, one of our millions of viewers will tell us.
Yes. um, but yeah, we now I'm distracted because half my brain's trying to funnel through all these movie ties. Like you're gonna find it, you're gonna find it, you're gonna find it. Uncut Gems.
There we go.
Got it.
Yeah, I said raw cuts.
Raw had nothing to do with it,
Nope.
but Uncut Gems. Yes.
Uncut gems.
Yeah, and it had Kevin Garnett played a small part in it.
Hmm.
Hmm. So, but yeah, I wanted to see that one because I was like, all right, that's at least a serious role. He's not doing his voice. I can that'll help me appreciate him a little bit more. Um,
Sure.
Same thing with kind of Will Ferrell. Now, I do like Will Ferrell better, and I
Yes.
prefer his movie, even his comedy dumb ones. But there does get a point where I'm like, all right, you have played this character now in 5 different
Every
films.
fucking movie, and they're not the same character. Like you.
Yes, exactly.
Um.
So
I mean,
let's move on.
there's the Ron Burgundies. I love Ron
Hmm.
Burgundy. I love Talladega Nights. But one of my favorite movies, not just Will Ferrell movies, one of my favorite movies is what's it called? Stranger Than Fiction, where he's opposite Meg Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. I think I might have only seen that one once,
uh,
so I'm not too familiar. But yeah, I'm
it
familiar.
is one of those comfort food. I don't
Mhm.
watch too many films repeated. Like I usually watch it and like, did it?
Oh, I have a bad problem with that. I will if it's a movie. There are definitely movies, and I think when Kyle jumps on here, that's something I'm going to bring up. Like, what are your movies that if you walk in the room and it's on, like you just have to sit down and rewatch it again? Because I definitely find my and you may change, because I will say this is newer for me, but I definitely now that Landon's gotten to an age where I can watch whatever it is I want to watch in front of him without being like, all right, kid, close your eyes, cover your
Yeah,
ears,
yeah.
go to bed. Um, I'm now like, I'm rewatching a lot more movies because I'm like, I want him to see it now for the first time.
Hmm.
So I'm constantly going through my list, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all those things, and I'm like, I've never seen that. I need to watch it. Need to watch it.
But
But I
I'm
know
gonna go
this
back
one's
to.
really good, and he needs to watch it. So
Yeah, I could see that happening.
that's that definitely happens a lot more now because of that. So
Yeah, because right now we just don't do movies for the most part.
yeah.
But we do have a list where we have a list going on right now. Films that we think Eddie might need to see. It's just
Mm,
like, just for, and it might even be movies that we particularly like, but movies
right.
that we think, you're in this Western culture, you kind of need to know this. I
Hmm.
mean, one of them being our local hockey team, the Macon Mayhem, go to the playoffs. They had a Back to the Future night. So
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
it was a so we the weekend before we're like, all right, we're gonna watch Back to the Future. So you understand what's going on. And neither Tiffany and I really like love this film. Totally understand people like it, it's not a big deal. Um
That feel good movie a lot of
yeah.
people saw as
I was
kids.
like, yeah, I never had an ambition to watch it ever again.
Right.
But Addie, she's sitting there and she's loving everything and she's just like talking to the TV like, you can't mess with time. And it made me actually kind of like this
You
film
enjoyed it
because
more now
yeah,
you saw
because
the
she's
connection. Yeah.
like, all right, I'm glad you like it. I kind of like it now too. So she dressed like Marty McFly for the Making Mayhem.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she was pretty fly.
Yeah.
She had her life preserver.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting how different families kind of like what their center of entertainment kind of is. You know, you have the families that, you know, maybe where they just all they ever do if the TV's on, all it is sports. You know,
yeah,
you got some families that if the TV's on, they're watching just game shows. So it's, you know, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, or whatever things. You know, they're watching those things as a family, or the TV series, or families that, yeah, it's a movie night, you know, or they make an event. I've got a coworker who they've got one daughter, and she's I think 5, and she's talking about or I heard her talking to one of our patients about how they just went and saw like the new Mario Brothers movie.
yeah.
And then she was like, "Oh yeah," and then we all dressed up in character for it, and I was just like, "I mean, that's cool." And all the thing was like, "Oh, I didn't realize you that." She goes, "Oh, it's not. I mean, we like the movies, yeah, but we've got like the AMC like monthly pass, so we can see like unlimited movies in theaters,
Oh,
and
that's a great pass.
it's
Yeah,
it's our we always dress up for whatever movie we're going to go see. Like that's just a family thing we do." I was like, "Oh, oh, okay,
that's like
that's your thing. All right,
that's a Tiffany thing. Yeah, we,
yeah,
we yeah we kind of do that in the latest, but Ninja Turtle movie came out.
okay."
Yeah, I mean, I only had a Ninja Turtle shirt, but
I mean,
the
nobody's
girls.
walking around with turtle shells on their back, you know.
I mean,
I guess the
Tiffany
backpacks. You could do the backpacks that shaped like a turtle shell.
Tiffany had a dress on and everything. She put the belt
Oh, she was
around as a
April.
bit. Yeah,
It's
no,
April.
she was Leonardo, man.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Hmm.
I think Eddie was a Donatello,
Okay.
and I'm not a big Raphael guy. He's a bit moody.
A cartoon I never watched as a kid. So
Oh, well, it's weird to go back to it now. It's kind of in my childhood, but
a lot of those things are when you go back and watch it again as an adult, or you're like, oh,
so as far as entertainment go, I guess the way you're saying it, we'd be a weird family because
nobody's
sports.
weird. Let's clarify. Nobody's weird.
We sports are
Unique,
definitely a thing for us.
special.
We are very much involved with the football's worlds
Mhm.
and the bracket we were doing. We do movies every once in a while. TV show is like, well, we don't have time for a movie, so we'll watch one episode of, say, like Tailspins or something like that. Something weird that she,
Love Tailspin.
right? Yeah. But most of the TV time is Spotify. We got our music playing.
Music playing through it.
Yeah, we are. Guess we're a music family. That's
Yeah,
probably.
that's good. Um, I try to do like on Sundays. I always wake up because I have the sound system downstairs hooked Bluetooth, so like I can be in bed and I can hear all downstairs, and I'll just from upstairs start playing.
God damn, Josh.
Turning the music on, and yeah, unfortunately, it's a little bit louder in our house because it's immediate metal early in the morning. But
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Oh, what my next? It's the ADHD. It's whatever I'm feeling at the moment.
right,
Right now, I'm feeling the Strokes since they just released a new song and they've got an album coming out June, pre-ordered because I'm one of those dudes. Yeah, I'm excited.
nice, nice. I'm pretty sure I've seen them play at a festival.
Well, that's the way you're supposed to see them,
Yeah,
apparently.
I think they were at Welcome to Rockville one year.
Nice.
Yeah, aren't they from Britain?
No, no, they're New York.
Oh, they're New York. Okay. Hmm.
Well, technically, yeah. So Julian Casablanca met Albert Hammond Jr., who's one of the lead guitarists in like Switzerland or something like it's some fucking
Gotcha.
preppy boarding school.
Gotcha.
But Albert Hammond Jr. is from California.
Hmm.
But he moved to New York, and his mom's like, "You should hang out with that Casablanca boy." And he's like,
He's such a great
"Yeah."
influence on you.
I'm like, you know what? I will hit up Julia. Let's see what's going on. And Julia's like, I think I want to start.
Hmm. Did your video cut out again? Nick, what is happening? Ay, the trouble I go through. Well, whenever Nick gets back, I assume he can hear me on the other side. That's what it sounded like before. But now he's completely gone. We'll see if he
There,
comes again.
there we go. I don't know
There
what
you go.
happened there.
I don't know. All right,
You,
my little thing popped up says Nick has joined in portrait orientation. You may want to tell them to switch it to landscape. So
yeah, we do. How do we change that? That was.
yeah.
How do we change that? That's not happening. You know what?
Sometimes there's like
Mer-
a usually a little button that auto rotates or something. But I mean, you're on an iPhone, so
Who knows?
I know on my Android I can do that. But
I'm gonna move you. Whoa, hey,
I'm over here juggling two different cameras, and you can hardly get one going.
you know what?
No
I will.
wonder Georgia can't win.
Ooh, it's just that first game of the playoffs. I don't know what's going on with your screen. Actually, you have been fuzzy this whole night.
Um, I was gonna say mine. I thought mine's usually fuzzy because again, it's a 720p. Like it's.
It's fuzzier than usual.
Hmm.
You
Well,
might want to iPhone this,
sure.
buddy.
I'll take responsibility. It's my fault. I apologize.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm in this stroke story, and you're fuzzing it up.
Anyway, so yeah, you like the Strokes. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Strokes, fantastic band. I mean, I was what?
Are they the ones that sing Body Talks?
No,
All right. You know what? I may not have seen the Strokes. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
Body Talks.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of who this would be.
While you think, I'll tell you in a second. Let's see. Ah, the Struts.
Oh,
Very
Struts.
similar name.
Yeah, only like a 15-year difference, but yeah.
Well, remember, I got into the music game
Little
way
late.
later in life.
I I don't know much of the Struts. I've heard their singles. They're anthemish. They're good. I totally understand why
Yeah,
somebody would be a fan.
they kind of have. I mean, I'm not. I'll listen to the music, but again, it's not my go-to style. But to me, yeah, when you said the Strokes and Struts, I'm like, yeah,
You thought Struts, so
that
that's how influential they were
they,
for
they,
you.
they seem to be about the same type, right? Okay, but yeah,
I mean, you're a few years younger than me,
a T little bit, T little bit,
so I
much
graduated.
much wiser maturity wise. So,
Obviously, I get it.
I'm
It's the
like
beard.
Gandalf. I'm like Gandalf over here. Oh, speaking of Gandalf,
Mm-hmm.
they're making a new
So I heard.
Hunt for Gollum, or I don't know if it was that the Hunt for Gollum movie. Yeah, it is the Hunt for
Yeah.
Gollum movie that I guess Viggo Mortensen declined to sign up for.
Well, he did say that he whenever asked about like would he
Yeah,
play the character again, he's like, if it's right for me to play the character, like if the
correct.
age works out, like
Yeah,
I don't want to do this just out of ego.
correct.
So like if I have to pass the reins on, I
As an actor, he's pushing 70.
yeah. So I totally get it,
As
and
Aragorn, he's 180 years old. So I don't understand what the problem was, but
and then you have but uh,
Ian
oh
McKellen,
no, Elijah Wood's like, yeah, I fucking
well,
I'll play him
he
till
hasn't
I'm
aged.
dead.
Yes. What else has he got going on?
Well, I don't. Him and Daniel Radcliffe, I love to death. I want to see them together at some point.
Yes.
But if you've never seen it, there's an American version of Dirk Gently. It only got 2 seasons. It was fucking fantastic.
Okay.
So it's Douglas Adams who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he created this detective agency little series. It's got two or two and a
Got Elijah Wood in the show.
yeah, it's got
So,
2 books. A third book that's kind of pseudo, like he didn't know if he wanted to put it in with Hitchhikers
okay.
or
Gotcha.
so it's like a half book. I haven't read the half book, but
Okay.
I think it was posthumous anyway, so whatever.
Gotcha.
But if you enjoy stupid sci-fi, like we're making fun of everything, I totally would recommend it. And
Okay.
the show is fantastic. I don't know how the British show is. Really don't care. It doesn't have Elijah Wood, so
Yeah, but it's got accents, so.
well the other guy's got an accent. It's just
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
the Dirk Gently character has a British accent, so.
Gotcha.
But the straight man is Elijah Wood. It's fantastic.
Okay. Okay.
So
But yeah. No. I was trying to sci-fi. I think I prefer. All right, so like when you say dumb sci-fi, like how are you? What's your threshold? What's dumb sci-fi?
uh, like a Spaceballs.
Okay, so it's a comedy in space versus
So
unrealistic space stuff.
yeah, I mean it's basically tongue in cheek about the whole genre, and
Okay,
like yeah, uh, Dirk Gently is more of it's sci-fi. Yeah, I mean I guess it would be sci-fi. In the books, the god Thor comes around. Like he's he's a character in the books. So it's just reality adjacent, if you want it per se. But Douglas Adams with his cheeky humor is just kind of making fun of literally everything, including himself. So it's
gotcha. Okay.
so. Have you never read any of the Hitchhikers?
No, so um I was a big avid book reader growing up because I wasn't allowed to watch television. But that also meant whatever book I was allowed to read had to come from the Christian bookstore.
Douglas Adams wasn't okay. That's weird.
I mean,
Would
I
have
don't.
never guessed.
It was never put in front of me. So it was a lot of Left Behind series for teens.
Never read one of those.
So a couple different Christian authors and things like that. So
That guy, Timothy LaHaye, what is that his name?
Tim LaHaye,
Yeah,
or yeah. So
I
yeah, yeah. So no, I did a lot. I mean, a lot of those things. Yeah, I know of it, but never really got into it. And then obviously, yeah, as soon as I left home and was able to kind of do my own thing, I'd probably never. I buy a lot of books, but I never open them. So
Well,
like I bought one just last week, and I'm taking it on my cruise because I'm going on a cruise
noise.
in less than 2 weeks. Um, and I bought it to take on it, but I already know that it's just going to sit there. Now I may read the first chapter.
It's possible. You might read more though. You don't know. That's why.
I may not. I'm going to take it regardless. But
I mean, I have these bookshelves, and I
I,
work at a library, and I found that sometimes I just need to feel the book. I just have to have it in my hand
right.
with the ability to read, the
Hmm.
intent to read, and then yeah, no, this isn't going to happen for me, and then I can send it back on its merry way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I definitely have found that, and everybody's personalities and brain makeup is different. I'm definitely one of those, regardless of what the science says or doesn't say about it. And although I think it's starting to come around predominantly that it does that screen time and all that has really stunted people's attention spans and things like
Oh,
that.
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
And so, even though I didn't grow up at a young age around screens, once I was allowed to kind of get around it, and like, I abused, like, something was always on a screen, and I was, so when I do try to read books now, that's my it could be a great book and it's something that I know I'm going to enjoy, but it's like the whole time I'm reading it, my brain is like,
Well,
but check your phone. But
so
dude, do something else.
we have
My
so
attention
we
span isn't as good.
we have the weird attention span shrinkage, which is understandable, lamentable,
Hmm.
but equally lamentable in my opinion. Our books are getting fucking bigger. Like you could tell a story in less than 300 pages. I promise you.
Right.
Could we just and if God forbid if I don't read sci-fi anymore because one, it's never a one-off. I don't want to be committed for a series. I have ADHD. This is not gonna fucking happen, dude. Um, but the world building is insane. They're always bricks.
Hmm.
And you like there's 5 books in the series and each one of them is bigger than a brick. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, like as a kid, I loved that. Like that's one of my reasons why I loved the Lord of the Rings and why I can go to Lord of the Rings trivia and like blow everybody out of the water because I read the books like 5 times and half, every other chapter in the book is him a song, lyrics
oh,
on a page are going down the history of the lineage of
sure.
something,
Yeah.
and so as a kid I loved it, but now as an adult I'm like, hey, Freya, I'm going to read you this book. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Let's go back to Bluey.
Yeah. I read Addie, Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
and I was like, whew, glad that you're only like 3 and you're not going to actually pay attention to this because that's a lot of walking in.
Yes.
I get it. I love the color of the trees too, but we're on the same tree and it's 3 pages later.
3 pages later. Yes.
Uh, so I totally get it. So I would recommend before your trip getting just a small paperback copy of the first Hitchhiker's Guide.
Okay.
I I I think knowing you, you
So
will
it's a
appreciate.
series of books. See, I didn't even know that. I just
Yeah,
thought it was one
yeah.
book.
It is the 5 book trilogy.
Okay.
It might be actually 6 books now. Douglas Adams, he was a funny fucker. He's like, I love deadlines. I love to hear the whoosh as they pass me by. I was like, I kind of like this dude.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So yeah, when you said dumb sci-fi, where my brain went was, okay, you mean like Star Wars or Guardians of the Galaxy, superhero.
which yeah would I would
Whereas smart sci-fi, or I say smart sci-fi, is like The Martian or
sure the
uh
more hard science
yeah, like
fiction. Yeah,
real
yeah.
real science to it, so to speak. Um So, and
Uh,
I,
I would
I lean more towards the sci-fi in that. I do like
sure
some
no.
some good sci-fi, but give me some aliens that can breathe in space. They doesn't matter what planet they go to, they don't need a helmet.
So instead of saying dumb sci-fi, I'll say goofy
Goofy
sci-fi for
sci-fi,
goofy, like yeah,
fun sci-fi.
intentionally, yeah. The Martian. No, I don't know if we talked about it last time.
We did
I
briefly.
yeah,
Yeah,
I watched it, really enjoyed it. Read it, really enjoyed it. But it, if you know your shit and you like hard science, that's
yeah,
awesome. But as just a story guy, I didn't need the actual numbers to be correct. But that's how he created it. So I was listening to a podcast about him, or somehow I listened to the author, and it was he would never really set out to be a writer. It was just a fun kind of game to him to be like, oh, if this problem was in front of person.
there we go. Nick's face is frozen again. Fired. Fired.
Dude, I don't know what Riverside's doing today.
You know, AI technology, maybe, this is also the first time I've tried to do it with the two cameras. So
Maybe.
maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. So maybe for
Like
the
my
rest
hands are over here, I promise.
maybe for the rest of the evening, I just go to 720p and not 1280p and look all clean and sharp.
I mean, to be fair, you're not looking clean and sharp right here anyway, so I
It
think
says
that's
it does say on my side there's a big banner above both of our screens that say actual recording is in higher quality.
I do not have that, but I love that that's there.
Yeah,
You
so
look like shit, but it looks better. Don't trust
believe
me.
me. Believe me.
drunk,
Um,
drunk goggles here.
that's right. Um, let me see here.
I
What
already
was it?
wrote. Oh yeah, so yeah, the guy who just wrote these stories or little scenarios. So he did it with the intent of having the math correct, and he was just writing them on a blog, and people were like, you should write this into a story. He's like, okay, and that's kind of what he did.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
so I mean, it worked for The Martian. I don't know how heavily the story of Hail Mary is or isn't to the book. Movie was fantastic. I'm not even going to worry myself about the book.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. Well, I haven't heard anything from Kyle, so I mean, he may not make it on. Um, so do you want to talk a little bit about politics and
I mean, we could try.
this piece that we have going on? We
I mean,
talked
it's good.
over it, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, we got 10 points, so let's see what happens.
Okay, yes. So we're gonna look over the 10-point plan that again. I will say that from what I've been following, Iran gave us this 10-point plan like at the beginning. Like nothing's really changed from what they
Oh,
initially said. Hey, if you guys want to stop fighting, this is what we got to do. To the plan that Trump came out, you'd be like, hey, listen, what I figured out, this is what we're going to do.
I thought it was a whole different government now, right? I thought.
Hmm.
Okay, just double checking. Got it.
Yeah. So all right. So let me see. You know what? All these stupid websites with like paywalls. If you want to read the full part of it, you got to click on this. All
So
right. Here's the
there's
here's
a.
the here's the basic part of it. All right. List of 10 points published in Iron State Media includes a number of conditions the U.S. has rejected in the past. See, we've rejected in the past.
You mean 2 weeks ago? Got it.
Yep.
Um,
Um, the plan requires A or one, the lifting of all primary and secondary sanctions on Iran. So I think
so,
I think that's a if Trump feels, I think he would be inclined to do that. I don't see him.
I mean, he's a big fan of stepping back his,
Tariffs and
tariffs
sanctions.
and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's an easy walk back for him.
Yep. Yeah, and I saw a thing that since the war has started, now obviously it's going to cost them a lot of money to rebuild and all that, but just from a financial point, taken away from that, Iran has made more money during the war than they had without it,
Of
because
course.
as soon as the war started, sanctions basically got eliminated. I mean, you can't really sanction a place you're bombing.
Yeah, that's
And they
actually
were and they were able to start selling their oil again that was already on the water or to like Russia and anywhere else
oh,
because
there he is.
What's
you
up,
see
guys?
what's
Choo
happening.
choo.
Did we already lose JC?
He
Yeah,
is
well,
having some an illness right now.
Oh man.
Um, I think it's pollen, just
Oh yeah,
related and stuff. I said it was judgment for him going to
it
protest,
it's it's definitely the latter.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But yeah, no, we pretty much have just chit chatted about Michigan winning, college
We talk
basketball championship and a
Nice.
little bit about music and movie
movies.
stuff again. And
Heck
we'll
yeah.
we'll circle back to a movie thing I wanted to say, but I was currently going down the list of some of the things that was in Iran's 10-point ceasefire
Oh yeah.
proposal, and I made Nick aware that pretty much everything was in their proposal that Trump has somewhat agreed with at this point, or is at least looking at, are the exact same things that they said in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing has changed on their point.
Right.
Uh, but hey, we haven't annihilated a whole civilization, so
Yeah. Yeah.
genocide
Uh,
did not
The
happen.
bar was set really low.
Yes, yes, it was.
yeah,
But yeah, so the first thing was lifting of primary and secondary sanctions, which I think uh, we could follow through on that.
yeah.
Um, the second point is continued Iranian control over the Strait of Hormuz, or Hormuz, whatever you say, however you pronounce it.
Vermouth. Well,
Yeah,
I'm sure Trump's gonna have a field day with that one.
yeah, that's one of those.
yeah.
I'm like, hmm,
I mean, they're always going
they're already
to,
controlling
yeah,
it.
they're always going to functionally control it simply because of their location.
Yeah,
But if I had to guess, yeah, Trump is not going to allow it to be worded that way.
Correct.
yeah,
Yes. It's
He's
gonna have to be some sort of like, well, we're gonna allow them to collect, money, but it's because it's going into a wealth fund.
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
They'll politic and figure out a flowery way to say that exact thing.
yeah.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah.
Third point on here: U.S. military withdrawal from the Middle East.
No,
Yeah, I don't know how.
I mean,
No,
for
again,
one,
there's several things on here that I'm like, there is no way that Trump's gonna say yes to, but
Right.
well, I mean,
theoretically, he's said
I,
yes to looking at it over the next two
Right.
weeks.
yeah, that we could scratch that one. No president would do that.
Yeah.
I'm just we we just have too much at stake there. I mean, you're when who's defining the Middle East? You know,
Maybe hey, we already left all our bases. So, and retreated,
Because they were easily targeted.
targeted. What was the good of having all those bases if you weren't going to utilize them?
I mean,
true.
that is a valid point.
Um, so yeah, I mean, there's that case that could be made.
Yeah, I still want to
Um,
know who Trump thinks is like our actual enemy. Like, if we have one. Because, like,
hmm,
the. I feel like I get mixed signals from him for obvious reasons because I think he is all over the place himself.
right.
But, like, evidently our generals have for years now been like trying to move us away from the Middle East and to a more China focused
Correct.
defense. And
Yeah,
so I'm like, is does Trump see it that way? Like, does he see the like quote unquote enemies, which I wouldn't call them that, but geopolitically, I
sure.
guess some people might call them that. It's like,
Adverse.
yeah,
Right.
it's like who do we have conflicting interests with? Well, we probably definitely have conflicting interests with China and with Russia. At least the majority of us would say that. I'm just curious if Trump would say that and if he would be fine with like moving more of our assets there and like kind of letting the
Yeah.
Middle East do its thing or what. I honestly don't know.
I
Yeah,
think
that's a good
that
call.
I think that, and this is serious. This isn't me just throwing some random, fact out into the wild. I think there's truth here, maybe. I think if Israel decided to give China the Epstein files and all the secrets, then yes, China would become enemy number one. So, but
Absolutely.
as of right now, Israel holds those books. So
Absolutely.
he's got to go against whoever Israel points him towards.
It really does seem that way.
That's my
Oh,
my conspiracy theory.
it's a good conspiracy theory. You know,
Yep.
that's good.
I
Yep.
would put the probability on that one at like at least 80%.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that feels right.
No. Yeah, I think in the very beginning when everything first started coming out about it, years ago, never really thought that, but the more and more so I was
Yeah.
like, wait a minute.
Why are
Everything
we
that
doing
keeps
this?
coming out just adds more to it. Nothing ever takes it away. It
Yeah.
just keeps building
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, there is a cumulative effect now.
Right. Exactly. So, um all right, then the next thing on here, an end to attacks on Iran and its allies. I mean, yeah, I could see him
That makes sense.
saying that, for a while.
Uh,
Um, the release of frozen Iranian assets. Yeah, that's doable.
Yeah.
As long as they've taken care of the nuclear problem, they'll give them whatever they want. Uh, and then a UN Security Council resolution making any deal binding. I mean,
The UN
can
has
the
no
Well,
UN
power.
make any deal binding these
I
days?
was.
Like, what's the point of the UN? I don't understand it
I
anymore.
mean, I feel like he can. I feel like Trump doesn't respect the UN enough to say, "Yeah, sure."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of those wink wink handshakes. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course I'm going to do whatever.
Yeah, which is so sad. But yeah, the the UN basically has no functional power for
No.
pretty much any of the big countries.
Mm-mm. No. So, all right. Well, that was only six things on this point plan. I don't know why the other four aren't showing up on this website that I was looking at.
I was trying to
The
remember if
math.
there was anything if they said anything in there about like agreeing to not pursue nuclear weapons or nuclear enrichment or anything like that.
I heard that there was something along the lines they would do it for civilian purposes. Continue like they've
Yeah.
Yeah.
said they've been doing for the longest time. Um, God, how again? I'm gonna get on my soapbox again. How long ago? I remember you used to be able to get on any news website without having to subscribe in order to read the damn article.
Now you have to type in whatever you want to type in and then type in Reddit.
Yes,
And you
100%.
might get
Yeah.
an abbreviated no paywall version. Yeah, I'm trying to look
All
it
right,
up
here
right
we
now
go.
too.
Here we go. All right. All right, so here's all right. U.S. must guarantee non-aggression. Iran maintains control of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's right to enrich uranium must be recognized.
I think he'll have trouble doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Removal of all primary sanctions, removal of all secondary sanctions, termination of all UN Security Council resolutions against Iran. Again,
oh,
how do
that's
those really
between you and the
enforce?
UN, man. That's not me.
That's right. Cancellation of all IAEA resolutions on Iran's nuclear program. Um, compensation for war damages suffered by Iran.
All right, now
Withdrawal
this
of the
is
U.S.
getting a.
military forces, and then a complete ceasefire on all fronts, including conflicts involving allies. Now, I do know it was within 30 minutes of, you know, Trump and all of them announcing the ceasefire and all that deal. Israel was back to bombing, Lebanon and
Right.
stuff like that. And then they had to come out and say, like, stop. No, Lebanon. That's when they came out with point 10 of, like, no, you got to stop hitting our allies, too.
Right.
We had 10 points. We told you that.
We told you that. You stopped at 9. So,
Yeah, if
I mean,
I don't know how I don't know how Trump like could spin like if
He,
those 10 points were actually like agreed to, and I
mhm.
mean, yeah, some of them I'm just not even sure like how you could like find a middle ground on it. Uh
yeah.
but like
Yeah.
if he did agree to those, or if the US agreed to those, like it would be such uh a blow to like Trump's pride and
Oh, yeah.
his, you know, prestige and stuff. And I think the US populace would not accept it as
It
well.
would destroy his reputation in the Middle East with the countries
Oh,
that
yeah.
have sucked up to him.
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
So,
for
sure.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
the UAE, all those that are putting billions and billions of dollars in his pocket, and,
Yeah.
who he said, all right, you pay me money to build a golf course, Trump Tower, or to do infrastructure in the States.
Yep.
You do that, I'll put a military base there to protect you. I will do
Oh, yeah.
this. And now he's like, yeah,
Never mind about that.
about that.
Yeah. I
No, I think a lot of this we had 10 points. We're looking for 5 of them.
yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, it's still it's hard for me to see like any sort of like winning like formula here where like the
Yeah.
US comes out on the end of it better than when
Oh,
they went
yeah.
in.
This
Like I don't see it, and like I don't know how he's going to sell that to the public.
honestly, the 10 points is just highlights like everything we thought when going into this war.
Yeah.
When we all woke up and said, "Why are we doing this?"
Right.
I think this is just highlights. We really painted ourselves into a shitty corner here. Like
Mhm.
there's it's Vietnam all over again. Like there's not going to be a nice way to get out of this
Right.
looking nice.
Mhm.
So then you think it's ultimately going to be brought back to the bombing and all because we say, hey, some of those points are just idiotic, can never happen?
I
Or is it, hey,
I I
they're
don't know
being
how.
unreasonable and,
I don't know the path, but either way, the U.S. loses its you know prestige on the world stage
I mean, I
even
think that's
more.
already lost.
Like it's just going to be another like
Right.
there's nothing that we can do. Like we're in a no-win situation of trying to gain credibility back here.
Correct. Well, I mean, that's why, again, you don't, you know, we can all agree or disagree, but I assume most of us all agree. I mean, Iran, their government is a bad government. Like, it's
Yeah.
waking up the next day and all of a sudden just hearing, hey, the Iranian government collapsed, new leadership, something that has happened, and it just happened naturally or
Yeah,
whatever. We're still like, oh, that's a good thing,
through the people. Yeah, that would have
Now
been
I hate
fine.
for the people that are gonna be hurt from it, but it's ultimately a good thing. But the way it was carried out, the way allies were not involved, the way it choked our allies, trade partners everywhere because of the high gas prices and everything else, we basically have said, hey, screw all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So
And we
I
basically
think I saw.
shown that like literally all it takes for Iran to close the strait is like just to have drones. Like
Yeah,
that, they
Yeah.
don't even have to have a navy. Like all they have to have,
they don't need nuclear
they
weapons.
don't need nuclear weapons. They
No.
can close the strait with a couple of $1,000 drones and the threat of using them. And
Yep.
I saw a little diagram of like where our military assets are currently staged, and it's nowhere close to like the actual coastline. Like the U.S. hasn't escorted any tankers through, and it's like we've basically shown the world that like we as the United States are unwilling to like protect in that way, or like we're not able to protect in that
Oh, we're
way.
not able to.
Like
Yeah.
the way that warfare is waged now, like we're still 20 years ago with our
Yeah.
tech, and it's like you don't. As somebody said, like, do you think we're ever gonna build another aircraft carrier? It's like, we might not. Like, warfare might be changing so much that like having $1 billion floating castles that can, be sunk by a few, $50,000
Mm.
drones, or little drone submarines
Mm.
or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
it. So much is changing now, and I think the U.S. is. I mean, obviously, we're still super. Our military is still very
It's still
capable.
advanced technology,
Yeah, but like
but
the cost like benefit analysis is totally different now, and I don't think we uh really knew that until now.
I
Where,
don't think.
where
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
where's Elon's Doge kids, man? Just have them playing their video games and with drones, like
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
drone to drone warfare. I don't understand what we're doing.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure I saw a thing that in the Pentagon's budget, that they're trying to get, that they brought forward saying, hey, we need, another
Gazillion
$200
dollars.
billion or whatever, gazillion dollars. Um, Part of that was to build like 5 more battleships,
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
And they were going to be
so,
named after Trump or something ridiculous like that.
Oh,
correct.
for sure. Yeah.
So, and again, I don't like the Ukraine Russia, war that's been going on for so long. I am in favor of, listen, all right, if it's going to be involved, let's just throw money at it versus,
Right,
people.
yeah.
So,
Sure.
I kind of get that mindset of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, all these military people have had all these years of watching how Ukraine has been able to somewhat successfully, I mean, mostly successfully, really,
Yeah.
have been able to hold off Russia's military by using what? Drones,
Well,
uh,
I heard
these type of
something.
tactics. And then we're like, oh, okay, but nobody's going to use that against us.
Right.
Ukraine was invited. I heard on NPR. I can't remember exactly what country it was. Some country was going to give them a good paycheck and some military stuff, basically for the Ukrainians to teach
Oh, teach them about the drone
the
warfare stuff. Yeah.
their anti-drone
Mhm.
strategies and skills,
Yeah.
because they've been doing they've been learning on the fly. They've been doing pretty all right. So
Mhm.
Correct. Yep.
It's crazy how
Yeah.
warfare now is coming down to like literally dollars in like a way that I hadn't really thought of it before. But like now it's like, okay, if I can just, send, 5,000 $2,000 drones at them, there's no way they can intercept them all. Like some of them are gonna get through,
Correct.
and like, and I think Ukraine just came out and said that they have got it down to where they can kill a Russian soldier for $1,000 because that's how much it
Mm.
costs to create one drone. And so, like, just thinking of it, like, in those terms just blows my mind. But, like, that's
Right.
that's how war is being waged now.
To that point, I learned a few weeks ago. So the people that Russia's recruiting to fight this war, that most Russians aren't really at least excited about fighting. I'm not sure if they're for it, but they're not excited about fighting it. So they're recruiting the poorer class, and they're like, your family will get this much money, like say $30,000 for your recruitment, bonus, sign up bonus.
Yeah.
But if you die, your family will get an additional, say, $5,000. But if you die and they find your body, it's like another $20,000. So, um, the Russian leadership has been, if a soldier dies, leave him. We're not bringing it back. Like
Right.
they don't want to. They don't want
They don't have to
to.
pay that check.
The Russian government really doesn't have that money. It's going to stretch them. So the Ukrainians have been like going into these fields, getting these bodies, and then sending them back to Russia and be like, here.
That's
So
crazy.
the money is such a big part of this
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
I found it so crazy when this war first started, umpteen years ago. And they're like, everybody's agreed we're not going to hit this pipeline. Like, really? Like,
Right.
I never thought war was like that. But yeah, like, no. We all want this.
I mean,
Yeah.
But the nuclear site, the plant, we'll be okay.
Right.
We can bomb around that.
again, being a kid growing up, seeing, Afghanistan and Iraq and all that, I may have had rose-colored glasses, but I did come away from all those type of things, and then even watching the Americanized um, movies about war and how we acted, in a very, pro USA way, and it was, yeah, you don't hit civilian this,
Mm-hmm.
you try to mitigate as much as possible. So I did, I do have this, maybe it's false. I mean, it's clearly false right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have this idea of like, yeah, no, when we go to war, we don't target, these type of things. We
Sure.
only do this. We risk losing. We take extra risk to losing our own soldiers in order to protect these civilians because
Yeah,
we're trying to.
that was your homeschool. I don't mean to be a jerk, buddy, but
Oh no!
I remember
Shattered.
I remember being younger and being taught that American way.
Right.
But then in high school, learning about Vietnam and the atrocities that
Correct.
everybody did, but definitely America was part of them.
Mhm.
And then the movies that were coming out at that point were highlighting just there was no glorification of war. It's like, no, war fucking sucks. Like,
Right.
it doesn't matter who wins, we all lose. And then living through, you guys were younger, so like what was going on in 2004 and 2005 with, Abu Dhabi and all those other, prisons during the other war that we just got out of, with, prisoners being made into human pyramids, and then, the thumbs up photo, like that kind of tarnishes any, like, we're the good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, do I love America? Yes. Do I But I think that's why we do this podcast. We love it. We want it to be that beacon on the hill, sort of like
Right.
we want to strive for that. We don't want to just call ourselves that. We want to be that.
Yeah.
So, and to do that, you have to call out the shit.
Yeah.
So, congratulations to us and our 2 subscribers.
Nah, I think I'm up to 6 now. I think that's what.
Yes.
Look at you go, man.
Yeah.
That's like triple.
Compound interest right there.
It builds up. It builds up eventually. Kyle,
Yes, sir.
what is this about angels and demons?
I just had seen something the other day where evidently JD Vance and multiple other like people that might be, spiritually inclined were like starting to say it's like, yeah, you know what? Aliens might be demons. And I was like, I have
The dumb science fiction.
I was like, I have never thought of that ever. Like, I don't know why that would have even crossed my mind. And the fact,
It doesn't.
yeah,
It's look over here material. That's what that is.
Well-
exactly.
It says two things. One of them is that JD Vance is very much open to the idea, or pretty much saying, "Hey, there are aliens."
Right. Yeah.
So that he has seen something. But now he doesn't want to. He's got to put a religious thing on it.
Right.
I will say that I grew up in a household where my mom and brother both said they saw angels, and then when my brother got out of religion, he's still very religious, but it's a mushroom religion that he has gone down. I love him, but he started talking to me and he goes, "Remember when as a kid I said I used to see all those angels? Well, really, it's aliens, and actually Jesus was an alien. You know that, right?" And he went on this whole thing about it. And I was like, okay,
I love it.
whatever makes you sleep at night. So I have heard of that.
It just
That
blows.
thought process.
It just blows my mind, like, to hear something like that come from the vice president of
The
the
vice
United
president.
States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know what? These things that are pilots and
That
other people are catching in their feeds and stuff. That might be celestial or spiritual beings that they're seeing. Just
see that used to be the crazy guy at church that your parents would like grab your hand and walk a little faster past.
right.
That's not the vice president. So
Yeah. And
uh,
I guess one reason that I think it's fascinating is because like I have frequently wondered what Christians, especially traditional Christians, would
Yep.
do if aliens were ever discovered or shown like in some
Hey, here's the body that we pulled
Yeah.
from the space wreckage.
yeah
From
like
Mhm.
if it was shown in some quantifiable like testable tangible way that
correct.
these other things that are not us exist, like what would Christians do? Because growing up, like what I remember from growing up is that they would always just kind of move the goalposts. It's like, nah, we're
Mhm.
alone in the universe. Like there's nothing else. But if there was, then Jesus died for them too, and like it would all be explained at some point to us. But I've also like thinking through it said like I think it would really mess up a lot of traditional Christians if aliens
Correct.
were discovered, especially if they were like if they didn't look like us, if they were like if they were like Rocky from
Yeah.
Project
Yeah.
Hail Mary, like what the heck would like a traditional like fundamentalist Christian do with something like that? It's like like because like Jesus became human, like in that his humanity was like extremely important. So like did if a species like Rocky exists, like did Jesus become a Iridian or whatever Rocky was?
See, that's the theory that I've heard. Uh, is Jesus not around because he's basically hopping from.
Planet, the planet, system, the system.
I love it.
Uh, all right. Forgive Nick. He's been having trouble with his videos all night, and he's. I'm glad it's not me. So this is like the third time he's
We
frozen
got to
up.
get fiber over there.
That's what I got over here.
Yeah, that's what I got too. I'm loving life. I can
Yep.
upload and download stuff like because
Oh, it's crazy.
yeah, because part of my job
Never.
is uploading and downloading stuff, and it used to take me forever.
Right.
My phone's got like 10%. That might have been my bad this time.
Thank you for
So
admitting it.
yeah, but the other ones were you, for sure. But yeah, so like the Jesus hasn't been around because he's busy going from planet to planet, being the Messiah to every species.
Yeah.
It was just a weird theory that I once read across. I'm like, oh, I mean, I don't believe in any of it, but cool.
Yeah,
That's a cool story.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, if that was actually like, if that was literally what was happening, like
I mean,
it's
it
like,
sucks to die that many times like that, but what,
it's like, wasn't it in the Bible? Wasn't it a once and for all sacrifice? This is weird, guys.
There's the whole universe.
why?
The whole universe was
Yeah,
covered.
I wonder if Christians, and this is all obviously very theoretical, but like, I wonder if Christians, who I am one, but like, I wonder if traditional fundamentalist Christians would like accept somehow the idea that, like, say for example, that Jesus was not hopping from planet to planet, and that like the revelation of Jesus here on earth is like the one revelation of
Mhm.
Jesus, and so like it is humanity's job to like share that with aliens and so on. Like I wonder if traditional, Christians would jive
Oh,
with that.
so there'd definitely be a splinter, but they're what you're saying in the latter for sure. I mean, I'm listening to this book called Wordy Shipmates, and it's Sarah Vowels, and she's going and she's talking about the Puritans and how Winthrop's um, City on the Hill has been co-opted. She just got done talking about Reagan co-opted, like, and how that's become such an American ideal. Like, it's our job to be the saviors of the planet.
Yeah.
Like Lincoln said, America's the world's last best hope. I'm like, that's kind of entitled.
Indeed.
But so it's just like, yeah, it's weird because the Puritans had this idea of themselves, but they had this like self, hate per se, like.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So that kept them in check. Is whereas like we only got like no, we're the saviors, and there's no like other safeguard.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
now
Yeah.
and she wrote this book in like '05. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
Sarah, you should really revisit this now in 2005.
For real.
So uh, I will forward you guys that one. And there's another story completely back to the aliens. It's just a little short story. I'll send you an audio of it. It's called They're Made of Meat. And it's these two, celestial, not celestial beings, but interstellar beings discussing humanity. They're like, yeah, no, we tested them inside and out. They're made of meat. Like, that's fucking weird.
We had to
So-
find out what they were made of.
They talk about the
Science.
probing and everything. Like, no, we probed them.
You know everything.
Man.
So I will send that to you guys as well.
Yeah.
But on that note, I think I have to let you go because my phone is dying. So
Way to be prepared, Nick.
yeah, I do my best.
All right. All right.
All right,
That's why I'm
We'll
holding
catch
up
you
Later.
on the next
booze.
one.
you're all
right.
good. All right, later, gentlemen.
See you, Nick.
Yeah, I think I grew up and I remember hearing from I don't think it was necessarily my mom per se, but at least people within the our homeschool group
Mm-hmm.
talking about because I can't remember what age it was, but there was some probably some satellite or some rover that was going through space trying to
Yeah.
find or collect samples or whatever, and so they're hearing in the news of oh, is there signs of life? Is there something?
Yeah.
And I remember it being a comment brought up multiple times of like, no, it's a waste of time. There's never going to be even a sign of there's never going to be anything, a microbe, nothing.
Yeah.
You're never going to find it on any planet because this is God's planet.
Yeah.
And so I think, yeah, if they were to find, it doesn't even have to be an alien with one head, two arms, two legs that can talk.
Yeah.
If you were to find a structure of life,
Mm-hmm.
a small animal of something that survived, that's on a planet that has some sort of ecosystem,
Yeah.
that would challenge a lot of people. I think
Yeah.
the Christians that are, I would say, almost like more universal, more
Mm-hmm.
open, like, hey, listen, I read the Bible because it speaks to me in good ways, but I don't take everything I read in it as in this is 100% serious and applicable to my life.
Yeah.
I recognize that some of these were just stories by people that were in a tribe, and they're like, hey, we need something to say at night to make sure our kids don't do this thing,
Yeah.
like every other civilization.
Yeah.
And those people are going to see that and be like, oh, okay, no, that's fine. I'm not going to lose my belief system because
Right.
I'm just going to incorporate
Right.
that into this spiritual thing that I have. But the ones that believe that Christ died, God, and all that, for them, because we are this unique, special, no one can touch us
Yeah.
type of being,
Yeah.
those are the ones that are going to all of a sudden have to be like, oh, wow.
Yeah. And because
I'm not special anymore.
yeah. And another thing that I was thinking about while you were saying that is like, if aliens did show up sentient and like able to communicate, and let's say for example that like they came with their own religion or their own belief system, like that is a whole separate conversation. But let's say they came with like, yeah, let's just say they came with their own belief system, and let's say that like Christians tried to synthesize it somehow, like
Mm-hmm.
the canon of scripture in fundamentalist Christians' ideas is closed. Like you can't add anything else to it. So like
Correct.
our canon of scripture says absolutely nothing about what to do if aliens show up or like how they're included in the work of Christ or like they're not in Revelation, and evidently a fundamentalist is going to say like Revelation is somehow accurately portraying, even if it's flowery pictorial language, like it's portraying what's actually going to happen or like the events that are actually going to happen. And it's like how would someone who the canon is totally closed and like synergized, how are they going to incorporate anything as like mind-blowing and new and as complicated as like sentient aliens showing up? It's like I don't know how you would even do it. Like there would be so many questions.
Yeah. No. It'd be interesting. I mean, I hope that happens in my lifetime, just because it'd be fascinating. But
Yeah. Have you ever seen
I don't know.
Contact with Jodie Foster?
No,
Oh
no, I have not.
man. You have got that is almost a
I'm gonna
top
write it down.
four film for me. So
Okay.
like you have to watch it. It's so good. And it was so the original story was a Carl Sagan story. It was like I think
Yeah.
his only fiction book that he ever wrote. Um, so it was a Carl Sagan story. It took forever to get made because like they could never agree on the script, and and then they finally had a writer, James Hart, that sat down with Carl Sagan over like I think it was like a month or two, maybe less than that, but I think it was a substantial amount of time, and figured out what the story needed to be for the movie, and so they
Right.
made it. And dude, like the science of like how friendly alien life would try to communicate with uh another form of friendly sentient life from the other side of the galaxy. Like what is something that's so universal that you could send in a message that would let somebody know that you were there and that you were a thinking like sentient being. uh and so I don't. It might would be a spoiler. It's cool when you see it in the movie, uh, but like the way that they finally get the message to Earth, and the girl in the story, she's been listening for forever, for her
Right.
entire life. She's been trying to,
She's been
yeah,
waiting, seeking it
she's
out,
been
and
waiting,
hoping for this
and when she
thing.
finally does hear it, like the moment of how she realizes that it's intelligent life, it's just like this could Carl Sagan knew like this could very well be
E.
how a sentient life might try to communicate. It's
Yeah.
awesome. You gotta watch it.
Huh. No, I wrote it down. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, man.
Um, I wonder on that kind of same note of aliens and but a communication in a sense. Um, people that you know, and it's not always Christians. This any religion or people that are open to spirituality kind of have this, where they say they hear the voice of something,
Mm-hmm.
that communicated with them. You know, you know, however many years from now, whatever. What if, in a sense, that was aliens?
That.
Really was. They really did hear something. They really did have something
Yeah.
communicate them and tell them something, but it wasn't a spiritual sense. It was extraterrestrial life communicating with some sort of brainwave,
Yeah.
because that's how they knew how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sent from the other side of the universe.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that would be crazy. That would be cool as well. And I think that fundamentalists that would literally like instead of them blowing up their entire belief system and like identity, I think they would just go into denial.
right.
It's like,
It's the safe
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, that's the safe thing to do. I can, keep my identity in line, and
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't think that they would be able to handle that.
Well, it's the human psyche, the human condition. We are a species that is very much easily well capable at ignoring things that are painfully obvious in order just to make life go on.
Yeah.
Um, I've seen it, and you see it when you know a couple, a household where the husband or whoever, someone in there has an affair or is abusive,
Mm-hmm.
and the wife, it's 20, 30 years later, people are like, why were you sitting there? Like, oh, I just, I don't see it. They're kept silent,
Yeah.
and because they just didn't want to break up whatever system they had. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, just burying the head in the sand and ignoring it and just being like, yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it's just painfully obvious to everyone else around you. That's People do it all the time, and it's not always just religious reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, our minds want to craft a story that is palatable to us,
yeah,
and that's how that's how we exist. That's why stories are so powerful, and movies and books and all of the above.
Yep. Um, I'll sidetrack this real quick, and
Yeah,
I
man.
know it's getting close to 12 already, but and I was hoping Nick would still be on here for me to ask this question, but since he bounced, he's going to miss out on it. Um, what are some movies that might come to your mind of like it doesn't matter what's going on if it's on the TV, you're gonna have to stop and watch it.
Hmm. So, Kingdom of Heaven,
Mm-hmm. Yep, we talked about that one.
Interstellar,
Mm-hmm.
uh, It's a Wonderful Life. Um,
I watch it every Christmas.
have to, have to.
Yep, that's my that movie, and I'll derail it a little bit here, but Christmas movie
Yes.
traditions. That movie and A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah, we watch that one every time
Every
too.
Christmas Eve, before bed, me and the kids, Muppet Christmas Carol, and I sing along to every song.
Yes.
My wife just stares at me.
Yes. Yeah, we have a roster of Christmas movies that we have to watch at least one time during the season.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, Signs.
Okay.
I'll watch that movie any day.
Yeah.
Um, oh man, there's Lord of the Rings. Any of them
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Any of them? Are we certain on that?
So obviously the original trilogy of movies. Any of them.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
That I followed that one.
the Hobbits are fine. Uh,
Okay.
like I, I get a bit of nostalgia watching them because they were, like a decade ago at this point or
Right.
more, and I can appreciate them for what they are, and that Peter Jackson
Okay.
tried to give us something.
Yeah. He kind of. I mean, he didn't really even
They weren't
want.
his movies.
They weren't his movies. Yes, he kind of got his hands tied behind
Yeah,
him.
it's like,
So
why is everything green screen? It's like, well, because he had like 4 weeks to figure out what
yes.
he was doing instead of, 2 years or whatever he had in
Mm-hmm.
pre-production for Lord of the Rings. So I can accept those as well. Um, Hold on, I have a list on my phone actually. I think
Boom.
I'm gonna pull it.
I'll throw one
Yeah,
out there real
what do
quick
you
just because
got?
I watched it. I watched it this week actually with Landon because I wanted to introduce it to him. Sicario.
I have seen Sicario one time and it was impactful. I haven't watched it again, but like I've watched clips of it. But yeah, that's a fantastic one.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, pretty much anything from Denis, I I could accept. I think I've seen all of his movies at this point, including his first ones, Incendies, and there's another one that was not well known that I did manage to watch, and both of those were great as well. Arrival, I can watch Arrival
Okay.
pretty
Yep.
much
Yep. I've seen that
anytime.
one.
Um, what else would I say? Where is my list? Hold on, I gotta find it. Noah, I love Noah.
Yep. You talked about that
I
one
can
last
I
time.
can watch that, and it's so that movie to me, and the Christians' response to it when it came
Oh
out
yeah.
is endlessly fascinating to
It was
me.
super hyped amongst at least the religious people that I knew of when it was people being like, oh, it's a Noah movie. This is going to be,
Yeah,
look good. And then the moment it was like,
yeah,
wait a minute, what did you do with Noah?
uh-huh,
It
exactly.
was like, no, we don't watch that movie.
Oh, dude,
No.
but it's so good.
Why aren't they showing him in the cave getting drunk and,
Uh-huh,
sleeping with his daughters?
exactly. And
So, like the Bible
who are
said.
these big rock creatures? And God never did any of that stuff. Blah blah
Right.
blah. But like one nugget that I have always taken, and this is a rabbit trail, but I don't
Yeah.
ever get to talk about this movie. But one nugget that I took from that film that endlessly fascinates me is like the idea, like, so the Christians that I saw the movie with
Okay.
hated the fact that Noah like was shown as being conflicted about whether his grandchildren should live or not. Like he in the movie, which I think you seen the movie?
Oh, I've seen it multiple
Okay,
times.
so like
Yeah,
he's going to kill his
correct.
his grandchildren, uh,
Hmm.
and the Christians that I saw the movie with were like so appalled by that and like by that
It's
portrayal.
unheard of in the Bible.
Yeah, like they were
Good,
appalled by that
good
portrayal
Lord.
of Noah. But like the more that I thought about like what it's say that like broad,
The human psyche.
yeah, like the broad strokes of the story. Let's just say, let's presume that the broad strokes of the story are true. Like
Correct.
Noah knows that God is destroying humanity because it's humanity that has destroyed the world. And so the idea, and number one, God is speaking to Noah not like straightforward. It's through symbolism, it's through like indirect ways, which seems to be a common thread throughout, the Christian story. But like it's all indirect, and so like the idea that Noah would be conflicted about the continuation of humanity is like God just like killed everyone because we were terrible and like nothing has changed about us. So like the idea that like two more are going to be born that could then become a mating couple, or could become a mating couple with the others of us that have survived. Uh, like there's no reason for Noah to think that the same thing is not going to just happen again, which is literally what happened like in real life. Like if you're a Christian and you read the story and
And you believe it exactly how
yeah,
it's
and you
written.
believe it
Yeah.
exactly as it's written, like that is still literally what happened. Like God killed all of humanity and we still continued to mess it up. It's like why are you going to destroy the world essentially if we're just going to do it over again? Like, and that idea is still like something that I think about all of the time.
Well, that's kind of one of those deeper conundrums of, all right, so if the God of the Bible is knows everything,
Yeah.
beginning and the end, knows it before you're going to do it, then why would he kill everyone to
Yeah.
start over for it to get to exactly where it was before? Like,
Yeah, it's like it's just a remix. It's
correct.
it's the same notes are being played. It's just a remix. And so, I mean, putting all of my cards out there, like I for a long time now have, believed that the that it's a story that's being told to us,
Correct.
and that the story matters, and like what happens in the story does matter, and like it is
Hmm.
trying to teach us something, and the author that wrote it, who was probably like, I think scholars would probably say it's like over 80%, and maybe I shouldn't put a percent on it, but like most people in the scholarly circles do not believe that it was Moses or Noah who actually
Correct.
wrote these stories.
Hmm.
Uh, and so whoever did write it like was a masterful storyteller and was obviously trying to impart some wisdom to
Yeah.
us, and that's what I think is important, and like the fact that it is in scripture I think is important. I just don't think we should be taking like,
The
yeah,
literal.
I don't think we should be taking the literal stuff. I don't think we should be like we should not be comfortable saying that God did these things, in my opinion, because I don't.
Well, it opens the door again to some of the things you hear now of, all right, yeah, God's okay with us going to commit genocide
Right.
if it's people who aren't like us,
Yeah, or if God
or
told us to do it.
yeah, God, okay, God told me to go and I mean, obviously, most Christians aren't going to agree with it, but I mean, how many times do we hear stories of a mom drowning her kids because God told them to
Mm-hmm.
do it, or something like that, So
Absolutely.
that type of stuff builds up, and yeah, I mean, like I know we kind of went off from the original thing, but I like these rabbit trails.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not spiritual anymore in the sense of going to church or anything like that,
Yeah.
and I don't raise my kids that way.
Yeah.
Um, Mostly because Devin, she grew up in a family like nobody went to church. Like they were Catholic in the sense that
Yeah.
they had a Catholic Bible in the house, and her dad grew up in a Catholic
Yeah.
household, but
Sure.
she went to church one time
Yeah.
her whole life. So religion to her is just a completely foreign concept. So,
Yeah.
but I always told her when we first got together, I was like, you know what, if Landon, ever gets to a point where he's like, hey, a friend invited me to church, you know, what would you do? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, what would you? And I'm cool with him going.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's education in that. And I've also encouraged him to read the Bible and to
Yeah.
watch, movies and stories based off the Bible, not just be like, oh, it's religion,
Right.
therefore it's stupid. I'm like, no, there's there's meaning in these stories if you choose to take it for what it
Yeah.
is. Just like, I'll use Landon, and as I'm talking to him, I'm like, Landon, just like when you read your Greek and Roman mythologies, you know, I assume you don't believe that Zeus and these gods are real,
Yeah.
but you're learning something from it. There's a parable there,
Yeah.
there's a meaning for these stories that have been over time.
Yeah.
Same thing with reading, these stories and things in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's, read it to learn,
Yeah.
you know, good things like that, but don't come away with it to be like, all right, therefore now I'm going to go conquer this,
Yeah.
or whatever negative thing you can come out of it.
Yeah. And I think there's like, especially with the Bible specifically, there's multiple levels of meaning in it.
Mhm.
I think the Catholics probably use the word polyvalent. Like there's multiple meanings to each of the stories. And so like for me, when I read those stories, it's like I can be edified, to use a very, Christianese word. Like I can be edified by reading it, and
Right.
taking like specifically like surface level, like moral storytelling from it. It's like, okay, if you steal, kill, and destroy, like you are going to bring the wrath of God on yourself, whatever the wrath of God might be. Like
Might
you,
be.
bad things happen to you if you do bad things, and bad things
Right.
are killing, stealing, destroying. All of the things that like I think everyone in Western culture basically would agree are like not good things. It's like if you
Right.
do these things, bad things happen. So like there's multiple very good surface level meanings to the story of Noah, and multiple of the stories in the Old Testament and the Bible as a whole. But like when Christians like drill down and go deeper than that and start to say like, no, God literally did this. And it's like, okay, so we're saying that God drowned babies because there were obviously babies that were alive and existed.
Right.
And so we're saying that like if we're saying yes to that, then to just like picture it differently. So like most of the time when we try to think of a word picture of that, we're thinking of some disembodied, thing in the sky, and all of a sudden it starts raining really hard and the waters rise and babies drown. But if it is God doing it, you could also think of it, and it would be just as true, as if like God is literally holding a baby under the water and watching it die.
Right.
Like there's really, I don't think there's a
There's
category
not much. There's a
difference
difference.
between those
Yeah.
two things. And so like when Christians, which I am one, but when fundamentalist Christians try to say like, well, yeah, he's God, he can do those things. It's like, I am unwilling to accept the idea, mainly because of what I think God has revealed to us in Scripture about His character, and what Jesus revealed to us about His character, and the stuff that He has written on our hearts, which I think matters. It's like, if you're trying to convince me that God would drown a child, like, I think we have lost the plot completely. And so it's like, when Christians drill down and try to be super specific and prescriptive about God, especially in those stories, that's when I'm like, oh, I can't join you there, man. Like, I don't think that, because, and again, it's a rabbit trail, but like, if it was oak, like, we get our morality from assuming the characteristics of God. Like, God is not like another being that can be moral. Like, if Christianity is true, then God is morality.
Right.
So like, if it's okay for God to drown a child, then that means it is a universal, that it is okay to drown a child. And I have many different problems with that.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, and that's why,
That's why I
you
love
know,
that movie.
yeah, exactly. Um, I would assume that's probably your favorite religious themed movie or religious based
I
movie
I
out there.
I legitimately think it is one of the best, like, Bible
Hmm.
adjacent, Bible related, Christian, what have you, stories out there. I think it's
Yeah,
like the filmmaker who made it, Darren Aronofsky,
Novsky. Yeah,
is fantastic. Like, the vibes, to use a very Gen Z term, the vibes are so good. Like, from the first frame, and like the soundtrack starts blaring over the speakers, and you get the text, and it's all in this, really unique, cool font. Like, just the vibes from the get go. I was like, I am in. I love this. And so like the soundscape of it is amazing, and like some of like the visuals paired with the soundtrack and the words that were
right.
being spoken were just like chef's kiss, so good. Like when Noah breaks into the camp of the humans, the followers of Tubal Cain, when he breaks in because he's trying to see what's happening, and I think he was trying to find his son or whatever.
Yeah, his son had snuck out
Yeah,
and then got captured
and
by
he
him. So
he sees them like slaughtering animals and just like ripping them apart, and then like the camera slowly pans out as like just death and destruction and fire like engulfs, his mind.
yeah,
And the soundtrack is just like this really harsh, like, horn section just blaring at you. And I was like, oh, this is so good. I love it, man.
I think you've convinced me that I need to rewatch it here
You
shortly
do,
soon. I need to
man.
introduce Landon to it. I don't think Landon's watched it. I
Yeah.
don't think he has.
And how old is he?
Uh, he's 13.
Yeah,
But
he could
but
probably do.
he's a mature 13-year-old.
Yeah,
Like I still don't put movies on that might have like graphic sex
yeah,
stuff in it, but violence, language,
yeah,
I've introduced him to that stuff.
yeah.
Pretty. He's watched Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So
we understand the gore, for
yes,
sure. Then
yes.
yeah, I
But
think
I
he'd
mean, hey,
be.
if you read the Old Testament, there's a lot of
Oh,
that. So
seriously though, like it's so funny looking at like a kid's Bible.
oh,
It's like, this is so
did they change?
sanitized.
Do they sanitize
It's
it?
so
I've
sanitized.
never.
Well, I guess I'm
Gotcha.
thinking specifically of like kids' picture Bibles and stuff.
Yeah. No, I've seen them
Yeah,
like, and because I remember one time there was like a comic book version of the
Yeah.
Bible where
Mm-hmm.
it was very changed. But I mean, I grew up in very much it was King James only, and then eventually, New King James and NIV later
Yeah.
on, or New American Standard or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
very much everything was, yeah, King James in the very
And even
beginning.
just like a Sunday school. So like my kids, like we don't go to church every Sunday,
Hmm.
but I'm there probably 2 times a month, one time a
Yeah.
month at least, because I volunteer in the back, and so my kids normally come whenever I go, and
Right.
our church went through Genesis and went through the flood story. I think it was
Hmm.
6 months to a year ago that they were talking about it. And so like they would come out of Sunday school and I was like, okay, what'd you learn? And they'd have pictures of like Noah's Ark and it's like all these
Right.
happy
Look at all
animals
these
and
animals.
and Noah who's really happy. And I'm just like the amount of sanitizing that you have to do to be able to even tell that story is insane to me. And I personally feel like that's one of the things that should tell us that there's something else going on in that story than that God like killed all of these people, drowned the world and all of the animals in it and stuff. It's like if we're having like if you can't tell it to a child, be, and like even in broad strokes, if you can't fully explain to a child like what was happening there, it's like if you told somebody, oh, like somebody broke into my house and I shot them because they were gonna hurt my family, so I neutralized the threat. Like you could find a way to say that to your family, to your kids or whatever, but it's like how do you explain to a kid that God drowned babies and
Right.
animals and all of these other things.
That, hey, if you were back lived in those days and you were your age, if your dad was not this one
If he
dude,
wasn't
you're
Noah.
doomed. Yeah, you're there's no chance for you
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it's yeah.
Um,
I think
yeah.
there's so much there that like most all of the people in my orbit, like in the church orbit that I'm in, like they don't go that deep in
It
it. Like the most, because I feel like all of the people that
it's safer not
it
to.
literally is safer not to. Like all of the people that I have like walked into the depths of it with,
Hmm.
like come out on the other side being like that. Normally, I'm most people are not going to tell you that they've changed their mind or their opinion. And
Right.
maybe I'm just not persuasive enough or whatever, and that might be true. But like most of them are like, yeah, that's that. You make some really good points, but I still think that if it's in the Bible, that somehow it, one day God will explain to me how all of that was, good,
Oh,
and
I don't need to know that.
yeah,
That's beyond my
and
comprehension.
I'm just like, it, you're like, we're not just talking about like a story. Like this story has to do with like the character of God, and so
Yeah.
if you're appealing to like some mystery in the character of God, it's like, do you realize what you're doing when you do that? Like you're worshiping a mystery. Like you're worshiping someone whose character is unknown to you, and that just blows my mind.
Well, a lot of people, and I'm sure you were to an extent, but you're raised as children a lot of times in the religious not to question, like to question or doubt what your parents or your pastor taught you as a kid
Yeah.
is almost a sin. I mean, it's a sin itself, and that it's
Yeah.
and and some of that plays into, well, you always trust and follow authority, whether that authority is your parents or your pastor,
Yeah.
you know. And so, you grow up in that, you're surrounded by that, you become accustomed to that. So then you become an adult and you don't it doesn't even become a thought to question this
Right.
thing that's been there since you were born
Yeah.
of no, that's just true,
Yeah.
and I don't need to look any further than
Yeah.
that. At the end of the day, your faith is still there, and that's what you have, and that's fine. And maybe I'm content to an extent of being like, you know what, hey, listen, at the end of your life, as long as you die happy and fulfilled, then sure, I'm glad
Yeah.
you didn't, your brain didn't fall apart when you learned, or whatever it was.
Right.
But yeah, some people, yourself, myself, we have that need to question, and not even sometimes question, sometimes it's just look deeper into
Yeah.
things. I remember watching I haven't recently a lot just because of time, but I used to watch a lot of Alex O'Connor
Mm-hmm.
YouTube
Yeah, for sure.
interviews and things that he would do, and I remember him doing a sit down with a theologian. I think he taught at UNC.
It's probably Bart
But
Ehrman if it was UNC.
maybe it could also be one of the others. I could be putting multiple together. But point is, they were talking about you know some of the inconsistencies or some of the things that, again, growing up, I would have never thought to challenge. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe some of these books, um, in my brain, what I was taught was, especially like New Testament, like the book of Paul, that was obviously written by Paul. The book
Right.
of this was obviously written by that person,
Yep.
and it was written with Jesus standing there, and it was like
Yeah.
dictated the same day, like
Exactly.
duh. And then to hear people are like, actually, historical records greatly point to it being like 50 years later, by a
Yeah.
third person telling it. And,
Yeah.
ultimately, does that change someone's faith? No. And that's what this guy was pointing at, because Alex was there challenged. He was challenging him on it. And he was like, no, he's like, yeah, all my studies, all my things agree that a lot of the things that the church and stuff has taught us, historically speaking, is wrong. Like these
Yeah.
things were written at this time. It wasn't, the day of, or
Yeah.
blah blah blah. He goes, but it's not going to change my faith on it. He goes, I'm still able to go to sleep at
Yeah.
night and be like, I still believe what I believe.
Right.
But I can also sit there and say, when that other person says, well, this, I can sit there and be like, you do know that's wrong, though. Like, ultimately, the ultimate part there, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we're still on the same footing, but there are some fundamental things that you're putting your life on that are proven wrong to an extent.
Yeah.
And so, why don't you feel the need to build that foundation so that when that crazy thing does come out, you're not when the aliens do show up one day, you're not,
Yeah. Exactly.
you're like, oh, okay, aliens showed up. Well, yeah, I'm open to
Yeah.
that because I didn't take that one line in the Bible 100% serious. I took the part of, I'm here for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So.
There's one other talking about like how most people like view the scriptures and stuff.
Mhm.
One game that I love to do for myself, but like also when I get a chance with my family and with other people in my orbit, it's find the point of view, like find the narrator, like who's narrating this, who's telling us. So like one story that I love to do that with is Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he was supposed to be alone
Alone.
and saying all of these things, and then immediately walks down off of the mountain or whatever, the hill, and gets arrested and taken in. And it's like in the Bible, like the whose point of view do we have in that story?
Truth.
Like who is the other person that is watching Jesus do these things? And are we trying to say that, yeah, Jesus came off that mountain and then told the precise story of what he did up there to his disciples, and then years later they wrote that down, or while he was arrested and being processed or whatever, he was like, hey y'all, I wanted y'all to know what I did up there on the mountain, and this is what
Right.
I did, just in case you ever need to write it. Uh, and so like playing that game of like, okay, who 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 else would have had to be there for us to have this story, or what would have had to have happened for us to get the story from the person that did it? And it's like I love like finding the point of view, finding the narrator, because I feel like it explains so much, and like it says so much about like the Bible and like how it was put together, and like like you said, we don't know like specifically who wrote a lot of the books of the Bible, including letters that are attributed to Paul.
To be, yeah.
Like there are like 7 letters of Paul that all of that most scholars say like those are genuine or whatever, and then there's other letters that they're like, this does not seem like Paul. There's some indications that it could be, but there's lots of weird stuff in here, so like we don't
Right.
know if that's Paul. And then there's some that they're like, there's no way that this is Paul. Like this sounds like somebody who grew up entirely differently. and
Right.
and so stuff like that, it's like most Christians don't care. They just don't care, and they don't want to go that deep in it. And like
Yeah.
a lot
No,
of it
it's
is personality differences, and I get that, but like they then will try to prescribe to you who are doing those things like, no, this is how God is, and this is what, this is what the Bible is, and this is blah blah blah. And it's like, wait, so now you're trying
now you have an
now
opinion.
you have an opinion on those things. And yeah, so I fully understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. All right, well, it's getting a little late,
Yeah,
but
man.
I'll end this on my favorite biblical Bible
Yeah.
film, and that is The Prince of
Oh,
Egypt.
dude, I was about to say, is it the Prince of Egypt? Because that is a banger of a movie.
The That's one of those animated movie I put on several times since Frey has been born, just
Yeah.
to try to get her into the music. I'm like, the music,
Dude, it's
come on,
so
bang it.
good. And it's Hans
And I mean,
Zimmer.
yes, it's so many of the voice actors. I
Yeah.
mean, incredible. And I wish, this is kind of going off a little bit, but kind of going back to
hmm
Aronofsky. No, Dennis Villeneuve. Who didn't know it? It was Dennis Villanueva, right?
No, it was Aronofsky. You had
Or
it
it
right
was
the first
Aronofsky.
time.
Okay. Um, I wish there were better or more thought provoking, kind of different takes, big dramatic biblical uh, story productions
Yeah.
that have, you know, I know they've tried to tackle. I think even after that success, Hollywood went back to the Moses and Ramsey story,
hmm
and they put Christian Bell in
Yeah, yeah,
it,
yeah.
and but I think Ridley Scott did
He
that one.
did.
Yeah,
I
and
want to
it
watch it
just
again. For whatever reason, when I did see it the first time, I think I saw it late at night and I just fell asleep.
gotcha.
But like,
I watched it one time too, and I don't have any fond memories of
yeah,
it
yeah.
like Noah. So yeah, maybe I
We
need to
need
do
we
that
need a
as
second
well.
viewing.
Yeah. I did see, I think, Amazon Amazon Studio, whatever one they're partner up with, they've got a Moses movie coming out, or
Yeah,
TV series or something, by the people who did The House of David, which
yeah,
I haven't watched, but I want to watch.
yeah.
I mean, it looked
And
decent.
they
So
just came out with a David movie. It was in theaters over Christmas, I believe.
it was
Yeah,
animated,
it was
right?
animated,
Yeah.
and
That's right.
I listened to some of the filmmakers on it, and I liked them as filmmakers. You could obviously tell like they were going to be telling like Christian stories
Sure.
for whatever that's worth.
Hmm.
Uh, but I liked listening to them and kind of
Right.
appreciated the process that they took for the film. So I've listened to some of the music from it. I haven't seen it yet. I don't think it's out
Okay.
where I can stream it yet. But so there's that one too that just came out.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, it's exciting. I was one of those that um I think my yeah, I think it was my mom. I took me to go see The Passion of the Christ,
Yeah.
and that was in theaters. So,
Dude, Mel Gibson
yeah.
is doing a movie about the Knights of Malta. Have you heard about that? Yeah,
No.
I'm pumped about that because he's a freaking
I'm still a Mel Gibson
yeah,
fan. I mean, I understand why people
yeah, he's got
pushed away from him
issues.
for a little bit, but
He's got issues for sure. I guess we could say we all do. He's but he's definitely
correct.
got some stuff through his career that has been like,
But he's
what
talented when it
is
comes to
happening
pointing the
there? Why are
camera.
you saying that? But yeah, as a
Yeah.
filmmaker, he is amazing, and
Hmm.
uh, yeah. So him making this movie seems like the perfect marriage of subject matter and filmmaker because like he is a devout Catholic and
Hmm.
like listening to him in these past couple of years it seems like he's mellowed out and like he's much more like a what would be the word, let's just say yeah he's mellowed out and he seems way more calm and like in tune with himself and like under control and all of those things and he seems genuinely like nice now,
Yeah.
which is maybe not, especially from what I can recall, maybe not how he was
I feel
in
like
those
I feel
early.
like he's yeah, I feel like he's one of those that, could totally be wrong here, but I could make the generalization that he's, you know, he had his faith for whatever it was in his younger, life, this 20s, and then he became this Hollywood. I mean,
Yeah,
he was in everything when he came, he was Lethal
yeah,
Weapon, Braveheart, and then that just catapulted. And so, I'm sure a lot of that stuff went to his head. He wasn't grounded
I think
in
he
his
also had
faith.
a drinking problem.
He did.
It's like, oh,
I mean, Hollywood at that time. I mean, even now, substance abuse I mean, that's everywhere, but especially Hollywood back then, where they didn't have, it wasn't common to talk about it
yeah,
and try to get help, and it wasn't popular to ask for help.
yeah,
And him being the masculine man of I can do no wrong.
right,
I'm sure a lot of that played into that. And then, yeah, if you're not, whether it's religion or not religion, if you're not grounded in who you are,
yeah,
that's when you make bad decisions.
yeah,
And he wasn't, I would say that he wasn't grounded. And yeah, over years, he's probably built that foundation. He's gotten himself grounded, and
yeah,
maybe
yeah. He did
that's why.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Great movie. I got me and Landon watched that a
Yeah,
couple months back.
that's such a good one. But all of
Yeah.
that to say, the marriage of him and his Catholic faith with this war story about
Hmm.
these 300 knights that hold the Isle of Malta from like I think it was the Persians or not the
Okay.
Persians from like the Ottomans or
Ottoman Empire, probably.
and I could be getting that wrong as well, but it was some other faith and I think it was the Muslims that were trying to take the Isle of
Hmm.
Malta because of its strategic importance, and these
Right.
300 Christian knights held it against all odds. It's like, yeah, that's a perfect marriage of filmmaker and subject matter, and I'm pumped to see it.
That's a. I know I kept saying I'm going to get off here, but we'll eventually get off here. That's a that's a guilty pleasure of mine that if I'm scrolling through Netflix or HBO, any of my streaming service, because everything's streaming now,
Yeah.
um, it can be the worst looking B movie ever. But if it's
Yep.
medieval based, and especially if it's medieval based and it's got some sort of like occult pagan,
Yeah.
witch or
Heck
something,
yeah.
connected, and I'm just like, oh, I'm watching this.
Yep.
I Nicolas Cage, sure.
That is an absolute what's the word? Christopher Nolan was like, yeah, that's a remote drop for me. It's like when that movie
Right.
comes on, I drop the remote. It's like, yeah, if it's Nicolas Cage and it's a story that's so weird it can't be explained, it's like, yep, drop
Yep.
the drop the remote.
We're doing it. We're doing it. Exactly.
But yeah,
Exactly.
Braveheart
Yeah.
and Gladiator, I can watch those any day.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Gladiator for sure. Braveheart is definitely up there. Um,
The
I
continue.
no, I was gonna say, Landon's watched Gladiator. He has not watched Braveheart. I'll give him a little bit more time on that
Oh
one.
man, yeah, that one. It's very intense emotionally, that
Yes.
movie. But like
Yeah.
the first, when I think of like a movie that promises you in like the first couple of minutes that it's gonna be amazing, I think of Braveheart because like
Hmm.
the James Horner soundtrack like slowly humming along, and then it goes from a
Yep.
black screen to soaring over the Highlands of Scotland, and the theme of Braveheart starts playing. It's like, oh man, that to me, it's like they're promising you that this is gonna be a freaking awesome film, and I would, yeah, dude, it's so good.
It wasn't the same guy that gave us the soundtrack to Braveheart gave us the soundtrack to Titanic.
Yes, James
Yeah.
Horner,
Yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I remember when he passed away.
Yeah, I can't even
So
remember what happened to him.
it was a plane crash. Plane or helicopter crash. It was some sort
You know
of.
what? I do vaguely. That's
It was a sudden
crazy.
thing. And the reason why, a, if I'm not listen, my musical stuff, if I'm not listening to my heavy metal
Yeah.
music, I'm listening to music
Oh
soundtracks,
yeah.
like epic scores, like.
Heck yeah.
And then if you were able to mix heavy metal with epic scores, which there's bands that do it,
Yeah.
oh, for me. But I remember when he died, I made a Facebook post,
Yeah.
and I was like, and I made a comment about, you took us to the Highlands, you took us to the to the Titanic, and so it pops up every year on my memories.
Yeah.
When it pops up, like, hey, do you remember this from a year ago? So that's why it's forefront of my
It's
brain.
just so that like the amount of like well-known actors,
Mm,
filmmakers, sports people, the amount of people that die in that when they're famous that die in plane crashes or helicopter
correct.
crashes. I'm just like there's something weird.
Yeah.
What is this?
No, it's crazy. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording
Yes,
here.
sir.
Thanks, everybody, for sticking around, and hope you enjoy the video. Remember to subscribe, and we'll catch you next
Yep,
time.
yep.